You hear me? Hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. It is March the 30th. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week to chat, see what's doing in our forecast, catch up on the day's headlines in the world of weather, and hopefully get your day started off on the right note. We've got a lot to talk about. First off, if you haven't been outside yet, it's sweatshirt weather. That's right. Go hiking, go to the theme parks, whatever you're doing. You just might want the long sleeves. And it's not necessarily out of necessity. Moreover, an opportunity, right? Because the reality is these days, moreover, will be numbered moving forward. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to be talking about some showers moving into the area. And while it's not going to be a straight up downpour of sorts, we do have a gully washer ahead. It's not bad. We'll take what we can get, right? Let's begin with a live look outside on our Thursday morning. There's downtown Orlando, some high thin clouds over top of us. Very, very nice morning. First warning live Doppler radar. Clean sweep. Love to see that. Temperatures out the door. Look at this. Lovely. 64 degrees in Orlando. 55 in Leesburg. It's 57 degrees in the Villages and 54 in Palm Coast. Excuse me, I need my coffee. It is lovely, lovely, lovely outside. Right? Right? I mean, I think it is. Love it. 62 to 64 from Sanford back over to Orlando. Temperatures running a decent adjustment from yesterday. Look at the temperature change from right now to 24 hours ago. This time yesterday morning. 5, 10, 15 degrees cooler. Yeah, that is lovely. So where do we go from here, right? Let's take a look. Central Florida's certified most accurate 12-hour forecast, bringing readings from the comfortably cool register of the 50s and 60s to the 70s by 11 o'clock, and we'll do about 82 degrees before all is said and done. Here's a look around Central Florida for the day ahead, right? 82 today in Orlando, 82 in Leesburg, 83 in the Villages, 81 in Ocala, 70s along the shoreline. It is absolutely a beautiful forecast. And with that, let us pause, let us take a breath and say, good morning. It is lovely, lovely outside, isn't it? I think it is. Kenneth, good morning to you. Becca, Chris, Juan Carlos, good morning to you. Nikki, good morning. Beverly, bonjour. How are you? Fran Hayes, good morning. Becca says it feels great here in Sanford. I would agree. These temperatures are, listen, at the end of the day, this is the stuff dreams are made of. You know, like this is the stuff dreams are made of. The temperature adjustments, granted, are going to be, these readings are going to be starting to climb little by little by little. So take an opportunity if you can to go outside. At least the humidity isn't out of control. We look at the muggy meter and we're outstanding for now. But notice we do tick upward into Sunday and into Monday. More moisture, little by little, moving into the area. So what's going on? What's the overall weather pattern? Nice, comfy air mass for us today. But looking ahead to tomorrow, we're starting to get a little milder. We're starting to get a little warmer. And by Saturday, we're actually flat out hot, right? There is a cold front moving in. The problem is kind of loses that cold air. What it does is it moves our area, and it just kind of, what's interesting is it moves into the area, keeps the hot air in play, okay, but it's not like it turns around the winds much, Like, just look at, we'll start with the 7-day forecast, and we'll certainly come back to it, okay? But look at how the temperatures after that front do not really move much, right? So today's high, 82, that's lovely. 86 tomorrow, 91 on Saturday as that front is approaching us. Kind of moves through, dies, and just leaves this deposit of moisture around. So Monday, Tuesday, we're actually looking at a decent opportunity to see some rainfall, okay? Yeah. Let's look at the global models, and you know, we like to do this particularly for tropics. What's interesting is the European is like, Sunday's going to be a washout. GFS is like, not too fast, bro. You're okay. All right, but getting into Monday, both models are like, we're going to be wet. And then into Tuesday, both models were going to be wet. Wednesday, both models are saying at least we're going to be wet. So when we look at the rainfall numbers, and we are so very much in the dry season, but when we look to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the overall rain comparison showing parts of the area approaching an inch of rainfall. Of course, you know, we try to make it as easy as possible, but the darker shade of green is an inch. So what we end up looking at with the half of an inch to an inch, you know, a lot of areas on both models are in that half inch to an inch of rain. It's not flooding rains, but it's some rains. Right. Yeah. Sorry, had to send Kellyanne a text message. So anyway, we've got a little bit of rain. It's not a ton, but, you know, we'll take the opportunity as it stands. I'm showing you the GFS and the European because our high-resolution futurecast model just does not go out that far. So as long as you understand, that's why I'm showing you the globals. I always love showing you all the data that we get. I also always love showing you futurecast, but futurecast just does not go out that far. So, yeah, have to show you what we can. Terry says, nice here in Dunellen this morning. Indeed it is. Good morning to you, Terry. Luis says, agree, it's beautiful outside. Yes. Will some of that moisture fall to the ground? I mean, listen, for what it's worth, the European and the GFS is at their wettest states that we have seen in some time. You know? For what it's worth, I'm not saying that we're going to get a ton of rainfall here, but for what it's worth, it's something. At least it's something. You know, I mean, it's better than a sharp poke in the eye, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. You tell me. Oh man. Elizabeth says, I call this tourist weather. Hey, I call this all kinds of good weather. Laura says, puppy duty, listening for a few. That's okay. Wendy says, bring on the heat. Well, and that's the relief. That's the relief. Yeah. Deborah says, we need some relief from the smoke coming from the Tiger Bay fire. Any chance of rain in Volusia County? I mean, you can see both models are putting some rain in. It's not a ton, but both models are putting some rain in. Speaking of the Tiger Bay fire, let's just look at the latest information on it, okay? It's still there, still burning, okay? It's technically in the database called the Doublegate fire. It has spread to 1,966 acres. Just got an update from the Florida Forest Service within the hour. I literally just got this updated before coming on to Coffee Talk. That's why I was like 30 seconds, 45 seconds late. 1,966 acres, 90% containment. Okay, and given the winds, it should be blowing the smoke over one interstate we all know and love, Interstate 4, and rural International Speedway Boulevard. There was a report of another fire. I'll show you this. Just before Coffee Talk, there was a report of another fire at 4691 West International Speedway Boulevard. But it looks like I just checked just now that dropped off the database. My guess is that that's just somebody that called in smoke from the Doublegate fire. So at any rate, that is no longer in the Florida Forest Service database, whereas the Doublegate is. So it's still an active fire, still probably putting out some smoke. So the good news is, atmospherically speaking, we're not in a situation where the smoke is like getting reckless and really whipping this up. I mean, they've got a pretty good containment setup on it. So at least there's that. But we've got some rain in the forecast. It cannot hurt. Today is Thursday, so I do want to point out on Thursdays, I believe it's in the afternoon, but on Thursdays we get an update to our drought monitor. So kind of take a mental snapshot of this. We are in a moderate drought for Central Florida with a little area under a severe drought. This afternoon, we should get an update to this product, so it'll be interesting to see what ends up, is there more of that severe drought or what have you. Keach Byram drought index numbers, though, for what it's worth, continue in those yellow shades. That's 500 and above. So because of that, we start to get into burn ban categories. Seminole, Orange, Osceola counties under burn bans. Obviously, most of us do not burn, but it just lets you know, once these start popping up, we start to have obvious issues and concerns with with fires. So here we are, departure from normal rain numbers, and Leesburg is approaching 6 inches in the red. So there's that. Becca says, wish it would stay like this year round. I know. I don't disagree with you. Kimberly says, any rain is welcome. I would agree with that. 100%. 100%. It's so interesting, and I updated these numbers yesterday. They are not updated for today, but it is very interesting to think that we are so much drier than we were in 98. And of course, we remember the wildfire summer of 98. Now, that was also thanks to El Nino. El Nino will be playing in for next spring into summer. We're just kind of transitioning, but nevertheless, it's just kind of one of those interesting things. And when you look at our numbers, and of course, I updated this yesterday. I did not update it today, but I'll eyeball this. But as of yesterday, total precipitation, year to date. Looks like we've actually switched to the third. Yeah, looks like we are now. Orlando is the third dry, so I need to update this graphic. Stand by and I will pull up more of the data. Year to date, third driest. So, okay, yeah, so we bypassed 1911. So give me a second. Let me just update this graphic. Fourth driest on record. Need to make it the third driest on record. Third driest on record. 1949 and 1907 are the only years drier. Yeah. Isn't that wild? Minus 5.5 inches. There we go. All right. Graphic is saved and updated. I mean, I think that's an interesting stat. Third driest start to a year on record. The fact that we can easily go and aggregate this kind of data is quite amazing to me. Yeah. Beverly says, don't tease us. We need rain, not a flood. Need to get the pollen and smoke out of the air. Listen, I mean, I'm not teasing you with a flood. I'm simply saying, looking Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the models are giving us, half of an inch to an inch of rain. Kind of, that's the idea. That's better than nothing, but yeah, that's better than nothing. Deborah says, on International Speedway Boulevard this morning on my way to work in DeLand. Do you see smoke? I'm curious, Deborah. Do you see any smoke from the Doublegate fire? It'd be interesting. Deborah also says, I'm worried about a repeat of 98. Well, we're not in an El Nino year. Now, if we head into next spring and summer with this kind of a rain deficit, I, too, would be very concerned. But we'll get there. We'll get there. At the end of the day, we'll get there. All right? Nikki says, I know we need rain, but I do hope the rainy season holds off until we can get the concrete poured and the outside structure of our house up. You know, we built our house in the summer, and I was out there every day. And for what it's worth, you needed a good day or two of this foundation. Like a good day or so. For me, I was hoping for we got a good day of dry weather for the foundation. So we were good there. Everything else is okay, Debbie and Chris, what am I noticing? What am I not noticing or noticing? Bye, Chris. Have a good one, buddy. Brian says, Eric, I have to go back and forth to Hernando from April 6th to April 11th. I'm helping a friend of mine do something outside all week. Is there a chance of us getting wet that week? From April 6th to April 11th. It looks like we looked at the BSR and it was kind of timing out some stormy weather. So it looks like, we're entering into a wetter pattern. Here, give me a second and I'll pull up some raw GFS stuff. Give it a second to load. All right, raw GFS, stand by. All right. Okay, raw GFS. Put that there so that we can see it. Right? All right, so timestamp is in the top right side of your screen there. Okay. So, storm system going by north of us. Here, I'll bring it full screen for you so you can see it as cleanly as is possible, right? Some rain around. Yeah, that makes sense. Next week, we've got that moisture around. Some showers, nothing crazy. Yeah, definitely some showers around. It's interesting that... Oh, it's because I'm running... Hold on. I pulled the wrong data. All right, let's try this again. All right. Nice little storm system, moisture around for us next Tuesday. Doing its thing. Some moisture around the 9th, the 10th. Ooh, a good little storm system moving through. 10th into the 11th. That's going to be nasty up in the northeastern United States, isn't it? Yeah. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea. Hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of what is ahead, right? Listen, it's at the end of the day, this time of year we know. At the end of the day, we know this time of year is going to be a quieter time of year, right? So any opportunities for moisture, which we do have, we'll take. Rainy season, we depend on it. So let's talk about that rainy season. First off, average start late May, those cold fronts, they stop arriving. We start to get those daily sea breeze showers and thunder showers, and those morning low temperatures consistently try to hang out in the upper 60s to lower 70s. So we're roughly 59 or so days from that average start. And if you're curious, when's the earliest, when's the latest, I've got that data for you. All right. The earliest on record was early May back in 1966. And certainly, I could tell you with that data there, we're not starting it anytime soon, right? Like we've got at least more than a month. The latest start to the rainy season was back in 1998, and it was that terrible wildfire season. We remember that. El Nino certainly played a role in that. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we go. Patty says need to add water to the pool. Me too. Yeah. So, good times. No, the driest, Nikki was asking, does the driest since need to change? No, because we overtook 1911. So, it's still the 1949 So this is the third driest year on record. So 1949 and 1907 are now ahead of us. So we've seen 1.89 for good question. For conversation's sake, okay? We've seen 1.89 inches of rain this year. We overtook 1911, which had 1.99 inches of rain through today. To beat 1949 through today had 0.96 inches of rain, and certainly, those numbers will come up. And 1907, through today, 1907, the driest start to the year on record, had 0.27 inches of rain. Wow. 1907 had 0.27 inches of rain. That is wild. Debbie, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Love that. It's Debbie's birthday. Happy birthday, Debbie. What type of insulated mug? Just bought the hubby one. This is the Ember. Yeah, this thing keeps it hot all day. I was drinking my coffee until like 5 o'clock last night in the office, which some would say like that's gross. It's 12-hour-old coffee. I'm like, but it's still hot. Is that okay? I don't know. Oh, Debbie says, this is the best birthday morning, spending this time with you all. My son is here visiting, but still sleeping. That's great. We'll hang out together, all of us. And then when we're done, you get to go hang with your son. That sounds so fun, Debbie. Oh, my goodness gracious. I love it. I love it. Have a water slide coming Wednesday for my granddaughter's birthday. Rain? Wednesday doesn't look too bad to me. Wednesday looks pretty good. Rosebud says, I'm going to water the yard. I'm not convinced it's going to rain. I wouldn't be convinced either. Listen, I've got my sprinklers running. Not this second, but, overnight. Brian, the reason why I was curious about the rain is because I'm helping a friend of mine move music equipment around, and some of it can't get wet. Yeah, I get you. So on a grind, how will summer temps be expected? Listen, summer's going to summer. It's going to be hot as heck. That's the forecast. And we're going to have some tropical frustrations, as we always do. Yeah. Nikki, God, I wasn't sure how that year was calculated. Of course, no, Nikki, that was a great question, and I appreciate that. Nathan, is Wesh hiring by chance? We're always hiring. I don't know what jobs, but look up, I know we post jobs on like LinkedIn and all that fun stuff. Look it up. Yeah. Hearst Television, we're always hiring. Nathan, I'd love to have you come work with us, bud. Debbie says, Eric noticed. What did I notice? What did I miss? Audra, do we know if the past super dry years were El Nino as well? That is a great... What years did I say? 1907 and 1949? Let me look. Y'all are making me go dig in. 1907 and 1949. So I actually can't look at either because El Nino data only goes back to 1950. But I will say the beginning of 1950 was a La Nina year. So maybe that 1949 was coming out of El Nino into La Nina. But yeah, I only have El Nino La Nina year information going back to 1950. So there's no way to tell that. Dagnabbit. Yep. Mickey says, big ol' severe weather event. That is a huge area the SPC is showing. Yes. So let's look at that real fast. Okay, so we remember talking about the massive issues from tornadoes, right? In Mississippi. This is tomorrow. Big area of concern, all right? A level 4 out of 5 risk for strong to severe weather across parts of Mississippi and Tennessee and Arkansas, and then up, further to the north. The level 3 risk is just massive. But if we try to find where the highest threat for severe weather is, okay, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, thankfully outside of Tupelo. But Tupelo is under a level 3 risk for strong to severe storm. So that also is an area of great concern. And then further to the north, St. Louis, Missouri, Bowling Green, okay, Davenport, Iowa, Peoria, Illinois, Dubuque, right? Lots of areas under a pretty decent threat for strong to severe storms. That's not a good sign for our friends there, okay? So that's concerning. Yeah. Hopefully things do not play out. But the dynamics are looking quite grumpy. And if we break it down, and look at like the threat impact based, here's the tornado threat for tomorrow. Hold on a second. Okay, you've got two kind of hatched areas. Those lines indicate kind of a significant threat, but the bigger tornado threat looks like it's going to be that further south area there. Yeah, but tornadoes are absolutely going to be a concern for tomorrow. So thankfully for us, it's not here. Unfortunately for our friends in those spots, it is there. So let's make sure that we watch things closely. Oh, I noticed it was Debbie's birthday. Very cool, Nikki. Yeah. Well, if I see the comment, but when I'm running my mouth, it's Audra, still interesting. Wasn't sure how far back that data went. Yeah, the El Nino La Nina data goes only back to 1950. So it's good and it's bad. We just didn't have a full understanding. I guess you go back that far. Hey, want to also let you know, if you missed it yesterday, Fiona and Ian, the tropical names, were retired. So when this list comes back around in 2028, I believe, it will be Farah and Idris. Interesting stuff. That was from the World Meteorological Organization. Debbie, what did you notice? I had practically every single person saying happy birthday to me from the moment you came on. And it took you that long to notice it was my birthday. Debbie, I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk too. I'm sorry, okay? I'm a flawed human being. Flawed. Had lemon-sized hail in Alabama over the weekend. Good gravy. That's not small. I'm flawed. Beth is asking, what's the difference between El Nino and La Nina? Warming and cooling of the equatorial Pacific. It plays in big to overall weather patterns across the world. Yeah. I need more coffee. Is retired spelled wrong? Is it really? Did I spell that wrong yesterday? That's the wrong graphic. Hold on a second. Where is it? Retired. Oh, returred on the bottom. Come on, you Burris. You're better than that. You only put it up 7 times on the graphic. Also, why didn't it underline? Is the word return a word? Return is the word. I mean, seriously, what is that? Idiot. Thank you. Bruce is like last line. It's yeah. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else? Beautiful weather today. I'm going to mow my yard today. Somebody's got to do it. All right, people. You good? I'm good. I'm going to retire. I was going to say, I was trying to say it wrong, but my brain didn't allow it. I'm going to go retire to mowing the yard today. Yeah. Geesh. Listen. Sorry I missed 3:30 yesterday. We were having meetings all day in the office. I won't miss it today. All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you all at 3:30. Sound good? Sound good. Bye, y'all.